9440.
4405.
944405.
Welcome back, crime fighters, for the post-July 4th edition of Calhoun County's Most Wanted. Look, Sheriff, I've still got both my hands on my fingers.
That's right. There's not even any singe marks on you, Chris.
Right.
You did great.
I did well this time. All right. How are you doing, Sheriff?
I'm doing great, and I want to thank our viewers, of course. Man, 5 arrests. Y'all keep just bringing them in. 3,134 people arrested thanks to your help. And you see the guys we got last week, and of course, we'll have more.
Even on a holiday week, 5 more. I mean, our viewers just really don't let up, do they?
No, and we see the results all the time.
All right. Well, let's talk about something else. We were talking about July 4th, and here in this month of July, unfortunately, we got a little bit of an anniversary that's not a fun one. This is one we don't celebrate. We want to watch out for.
No, we need your help, folks. We really need you to pay attention. 2 years ago, we had an elderly lady, in northern Calhoun County was the victim of a rape at her home. She was followed home by a suspect, and he attacked her there. A year later, in July, in Mumford, Talladega County, there was a similar event, and we strongly believe those 2 suspects to be the same person. We want to show you those mug shots again because it's odd that it went an entire year and had it in the anniversary month. So we want you to be remembering this, and we need your help and your eagle eye to be watching out for this suspect.
This is the composite that the victim in Calhoun County gave, is that correct?
Correct.
And then the victim in Talladega County described the attacker, and it was drawn up this way. So
yes,
even though the pictures are not the same, that they're from memories from 2 different victims,
yes,
we do still believe same person.
Same person. We are very confident that they're the same person, and thing is, of course, we don't want it to happen again, and we need to find the person who did this. In both cases, the suspect apparently noticed the victim somewhere away from home. We know in our case, the victim said she was followed home. So be alert, be aware. In our case, he had a white car, but we're not keying in on the automobile, but suspicious behavior.
All right, so let's say somebody's watching this program, they're listening to what you're saying, and they notice somebody follows them when they go home from the grocery store or somewhere. What do they do?
And that's a great question, and what we want you to do, folks, call 911. Call your sheriff's office, your local agency, if you know the number. If in doubt, dial 911 and notify law enforcement that someone's following you. There's some suspicious behavior. That's what you pay us for. We'll come check it out.
So should they stay in their car? Should they drive back out of the driveway and go somewhere else? Should they go into their home?
If they're still in their car and they don't have time to get in their home, leave. If you have time to get in your house and secure yourself, absolutely do that. Do whatever is in your best interest for safety.
Every situation is going to be different. You've got to make a smart decision based on what's happening around you.
Yes, and unfortunately, you need to be aware that there's a risky situation. We know of other cases that happen where victims get followed home from the grocery store, from shopping at some other place. So if you think someone's following you, make a turn. See if that's true. Check them out. But once you detect that, if you're on the road, I would suggest you go to a crowded public place where you can get help. Go into a store, go somewhere so you're not isolated where you're more likely to be victimized.
And we hear about frivolous calls to 911, and certainly we don't want frivolous calls, but if you believe that you have a reasonable reason to think that someone is following you or you're in danger, don't be shy about making that call.
No, folks, it's not frivolous if you think you or your family's at risk. Call. And again, this suspect is keying on senior adults. So ladies, you see somebody behind you and you notice it, go with your instincts. Call us. We'll send somebody out.
All right. We're going to take a break. When we come back, we'll have the first half of this week's lineup. See if you can help us find some more bad guys here on Calhoun County's Most Wanted.
Congratulations, Sheriff Amerson, John Garlick, and Matthew Wade, my friends, for 10 years of Calhoun County's Most Wanted and over 3,000 arrests. Way to go, guys.
funnier.
Congratulations, Calhoun County's Most Wanted and Crime Stoppers for 10 great years. And thank you to the citizens of Calhoun County for putting 3,000 people behind the bars. Yay!
Big news for homebuyers searching through all those complicated mortgage options. AOD Federal Credit Union is now offering new, out-of-the-box mortgage solutions. Mortgage loan manager Jamie Bailey will help find the best rates and quickest approval for you. Conventional, FHA, VA, USDA, Jumbo, HARP, and more. Call Jamie Bailey at 256-241-8218. Out-of-the-box mortgage services. Reason number 4 that you belong with AOD Federal Credit Union. Federally insured by NCUA. All loans subject to credit approval. Certain restrictions apply. Equal housing lender.
Amazing Grace.
How sweet the sound that saved
a crackhead, drug addict, alcoholic, meth-free, a rich,
like me.
I once was
Homeless.
broken, sad,
just lost.
But now I am
Sober.
happy.
I'm found. Was blind, but now I see.
Every day, shattered lives are restored thanks to the goods you donate to the Salvation Army.
Hi, I'm Katina Houston with Family Links, and this is the Parenting Tip of the Week. With more than half of all marriages ending in divorce, blended families are more common than ever before. As with any transition into something new, there are stumbling blocks along the road for both parents and children. So how do you successfully merge your families? First, communicate before you cohabitate. No matter how great the relationships are between you and your new mate and between the children, once it's time to move in together, things will get tricky. Be prepared. Before you cohabitate, have family meetings. Kids are smart and should be included in the decision making, especially when it comes to things that are going to change their current setup. If they feel like they're a part of the process, they will be less anxious about the unknown. Second, consistency counts. Not only are families merging, but rules, discipline styles, and communication tactics are also coming together. You and your mate need to come to agreements on how to handle everything from bedtimes to housework to household chores. If there's a consistent message for the kids coming from both of you on what's right and what's wrong, it will make the transition for the children and you easier. Third, check in so they don't check out. Silence doesn't mean acceptance. Everyone needs to feel heard, especially a child in a newly blended family. Regular family meetings are a must. Use them as a time to talk about what's working and what's not, what's been frustrating and what's been fun. Ask everyone to come up with ideas for how to bond. Maybe you make a date with just the kids and vice versa. Bottom line, be sure you know how every child in the family is feeling. Fourth, be prepared to fail, and that's okay. With so many personalities coming together, there's bound to be some bumps in the road. You and your mate and the kids will make mistakes. If you prepare yourself for the inevitable ups and downs that come along with blended families, you'll reduce stress, anxiety, and disappointment. And in the end, what matters most is that you're all together. So remember, raising a blended family comes with its share of obstacles. With patience and a positive attitude, the blended family can be one filled with love, respect, and admiration. For more tips on making your family successful, please call Family Links at 256-820-5911.
And welcome to this week's edition of Calhoun County's Most Wanted. First up in our lineup this week, Cynthia Jackson. Miss Jackson, last known to be living in Anniston, she's wanted for failure to appear on receiving stolen property first. And meet Melton Mosley. Mr. Mosley, last known to be living in Anniston, he's wanted for bond revocation on possession and receipt of a controlled substance and use and possession of drug paraphernalia. And take a look at Matthew Stoudemire. Mr. Stoudemire, last known to be living in Jacksonville, he's wanted for probation violation on distribution of a controlled substance. And meet Davy Bentley. Mr. Bentley, last known to be living in Anniston, wanted for failure to appear on possession of forged instruments second. And meet Caesar Austin. Mr. Austin, last known to be living in Jacksonville, he's wanted for failure to pay on a possession of marijuana second charge. And here's Gregory Kirby. Mr. Kirby, last known to be living in Anniston, he's wanted for failure to pay child support, the face of a deadbeat dad. And here's Timothy Hamilton. Mr. Hamilton, last known to be living in Oxford, he's wanted for violation of a domestic violence protection order. And last up for our first half this week, Jesse Tyke. Mr. Tyke, last known to be living in Jacksonville, wanted for failure to appear on use and possession of drug paraphernalia. That's it for the first half of our lineup. Stay tuned for the second half later in the show.
We'll take a break from the bad guys and talk to one of the good guys now. We'll get back to that in just a few minutes, but right now we want to welcome somebody back to the show that we've talked to for the last few years. You know him as Skeeter, Herbert Vanetta, but we call you Skeeter here because that's what you go by on the bike, and that's what we're here to talk about, is being on the bike.
Yes, sir. It's our 4th annual Trystan's Run for Autism for the Autism Unit for Calhoun County. It's just a little thing my wife and I started to help buy supplies and stuff for the classroom and, give back to the teachers that gave so much to us.
All right, Sheriff, we always hear the stereotypes about bikers, and certainly stereotypes exist for a reason. But we see plenty of reasons here in Calhoun County to think well of the bikers in our community, don't we?
Absolutely, and anytime there's a good cause needing some money, one of the first groups you can count on is the guys who ride their motorcycles. Those bikers, they're there, they have a heart, and we don't have many Hells Angels floating around. We got good guys who love to ride a bike.
Yeah, and you've actually got some competition this year. I don't know if it was this way when you first started a few years ago, but I know July 19th is when the run is going to be this year,
sir.
Starting up at the top of the river. And there are going to be at least 2 or 3 other rides going on that day. Hopefully we have some good weather because everybody's going to be out on their bikes.
It's and the other runs we were discussing earlier, they're for great causes. And, by all means, if you have a bike and if you can't make our run or if you want to start, they have earlier ones than we do. If you get done with that and you want to come to ours, by all means, get out there and, show support for any good cause that we can possibly do to help the community and help the people around.
Now, let's talk about your ride here, or Trystan's ride.
Trystan's ride.
What are the specifics on this? What's going to happen? I know you're meeting at the top of the river and going from there.
Yes, sir. We're meeting at the top of the river in Anniston. The sheriff's office, escorts us the whole ride, which is great. It's 4th year in a row. We're going to meet up about 10 o'clock, and we're going to leave out right at noon is when we're going to head out. And we do about an 80-mile run. We go up 431 to 204 into Jacksonville, take a little breather, go over White's Gap, hit Highway 9 down to 78 to Coldwater hit 202. Am I right? Yeah.
Yep.
I'm right. 202, back down to Noble, back to top of the river. So it's, we take a couple of breaks for some people that aren't as avid riders as some.
And if you're hungry, you can have some great fish when you're done.
Well, hopefully, yeah, that's the goal. If you want to hang around and stop in there, go for that as well. Ain't nothing wrong with that.
And even if you can't participate, now if you're looking for something to wear on the ride, you got a good T-shirt for them, but they can get the T-shirt whether they're going to ride or not.
Absolutely. We've been selling T-shirts. Let's see if I can pull this thing up. And this year we dedicated it to the teacher, Miss Holsey. She retired this year, and she's 29 years she was teaching the children. And so it's going to be a new aspect of things going on. All the teachers' aides and all the other teachers coming in. It's going to be great. We're excited to see what new aspects are going to be coming in, and as well as the things that have been a staple.
And we're talking about.
I'm sorry. I was going to say, how much would that T-shirt cost me? Where can I get it?
It's $15. You can get it from me. We have a website, Facebook. Of course, everybody has Facebook. It's Trystan's Run for the number 4 Autism. And you can message us there, and we can meet up and sell shirts. I just actually mailed off several today before I came in.
And certainly, I'm sure you'll have some at top of the river.
Yes, we will have they're for sale at top of the river the day of the event, and we have some of last year's shirts from last year, and we're going to sell those for $5 a piece. So you can get 2 shirts for $20 if you want to come out there and support a good cause.
There you go. And if you're looking for it on Facebook, Trystan is Trystan, and then put the S because it's Trystan's Run number 4 Autism. So where does the money go?
It goes straight to the classroom. Well, I just get the money and go, okay, what do you guys want?
And which classroom does it go to?
It goes to the county. The Sachs Elementary is where the Calhoun County Autism Unit is really housed. Right there was 2 classrooms last year. It's going to be 1 classroom this year. They're combining both of the classrooms together. And Ms. Jones is taking over, and we're just really excited about it. We just can't wait to see what new things are going to be coming into effect.
Well, you've done it 3 years now, and this will be the 4th. You've given a pretty good bit of money into the classroom. What are some of the things that they've done with that money?
Well, we've had digital cameras to iPads to it's just little things that example, like a lot of kids like the iPads because they can communicate that way. They can also learn different aspects of things. So we did that last year. There's been a lot of things that we've done over the years and this year's kind of cool because we've already raised about $400 in T-shirt sales before we even get started on the run. So we're pretty excited about it.
And you let the teachers decide what they want to use that money for.
We have when my son first started going there, he was right at 5 or 6 years old. I want to say he's been there for a while, about 6 years. He spoke 4 words, and now he's can communicate his wants, his needs. You know, he's not at his age level yet, but you know, he is progressed so much, and there's nothing we can do. I mean, whatever they're doing, I just want to support it and help them out. That way, they're not only helping my son, but the other kids in the classroom as well.
That's awesome. We need to take a break. When we come back, I want to talk some more about Trystan. Okay?
Yeah, absolutely.
All right. We will be back with the second half of this week's lineup in just a few minutes here on Calhoun County's Most Wanted.
Congratulations on Calhoun County Most Wanted and Crime Stoppers for 10 years on the air and 3,000 arrests.
Congratulations to Calhoun County's Most Wanted, 10 years on the air, and the Crime Stoppers for their 3,000 arrests. Great job, guys. Keep up the good work.
Amazing grace.
How sweet the sound that saved
A crackhead, drug addict, alcoholic, meth freak, a wretch like me.
I once was.
Homeless,
Broken. Sad.
just lost. But now I am sober.
Happy.
I'm found. Was blind, but now I see.
Every day, shattered lives are restored thanks to the goods you donate to the Salvation Army.
Big news for homebuyers searching through all those complicated mortgage options. AOD Federal Credit Union is now offering new, out-of-the-box mortgage solutions. Mortgage loan manager Jamie Bailey will help find the best rates and quickest approval for you. Conventional, FHA, VA, USDA, Jumbo, HARP, and more. Call Jamie Bailey at 256-241-8218. Out-of-the-box mortgage services. Reason number 4 that you belong with AOD Federal Credit Union. Federally insured by NCUA. All loans subject to credit approval. Certain restrictions apply. Equal housing lender.
For emergency and non-emergency medical transportation, you can count on Anniston EMS.
Hello, I'm Johnny Warren with Anniston EMS, and we appreciate the opportunity to provide support for the Calhoun County's Most Wanted program. And I would like to remind everyone out there that if they need any medical transportation needs, please don't hesitate to call us.
Call Anniston EMS at 256-237-8572.
And welcome to the second half of our lineup. First up this half, Randall Holder. Mr. Holder, last known to be living in Anniston, wanted for failure to appear for obstruction of governmental operations. And here's Jabrowski Davis. Mr. Davis, last known to be living in East Daboga, wanted for writing bad checks. And meet Kelvin Green. Mr. Green, last known to be living in Weaver, he's wanted for failure to pay child support, another deadbeat dad. And here we have Martin Duro. Mr. Duro, last known to be living in Oxford, wanted for failure to appear for receiving stolen property third. And meet Anisha Taylor. Miss Taylor, last known to be living in Anniston, wanted for failure to appear on theft of property third. And here is Terry Judkins. Mr. Judkins, last known to be living in Anniston, wanted for failure to appear on assault third. And last up in our lineup this week, Elaine Gamble. Miss Gamble, last known to be living in Jacksonville. She's wanted for failure to appear on writing bad checks. And that's it for our lineup this week. If you have any information on these people, know where they are, give us a call, please, at Crime Stoppers, 256-238-1414.
Crime Stoppers segment of the show coming up in just a few minutes. We'll also have our crazy criminal of the week. We'll blame it on the dog this time. Just stick around, you'll know what I'm talking about. But right now we're talking about Trystan's run for autism.
Yes, sir.
Skeeter is here to talk about this, the 4th annual run. Yes. Everybody gets out there on their motorcycles and just has a nice, good run and raises money to help with kids that have autism in Calhoun County.
Yes, sir. And you know, and like I said, it's the 4th year. It's been so much fun. Last year, I didn't mention this. We had the Mustang group out of Alabama come down and had about 7 or 8 cars ride with us as well. So it's you know, it's pretty much open to come on, let's go out here and just raise a little money and give back to the classroom that helped me and my family as well as many other families as well.
Yeah, Sheriff, I really appreciate you allowing them to have the escort from the sheriff's office. I know that makes a big difference, not only to the folks in the ride, but also everybody else in the community, just making sure everything is safe.
We make sure it's safe. We also certainly draw a little attention to the group, and people say, wow, what is that? Who's riding and what's going on? So we want to do that. But what they're doing at the schools there is, as you said, just make a huge difference.
Yes.
I know at Welborn they have the TMR group that works with young people, and these teachers invest in those kids, and they turn the corner for them and help open doors that they wouldn't have otherwise.
And that's one of the reasons why this year, we're dedicating the run to Miss Holsey, who was my son's teacher from day one, and she's retiring after 29 years. And you can't, you feel bad. You want to say, no, you can't go nowhere. But no, 29 years of service into these kids is amazing.
Yeah, of course, the sheriff and I both have wives that are educators, and so we know that we hear all these complaints about the educational system, and some of them are valid.
Yeah.
We know there are good teachers out there. Yes. If we let them teach and give them the resources that they need, they can do amazing things with our kids, and that's what you're doing, is helping to give them more resources. Anything
to help, and even when my son moves on from there, we are still going to continue this, to give to the community and give back to the Calhoun County Autism Unit as much as they've given to us.
How old is Trystan now?
He will be 10 the day after the event. He'll be July 20th. He turns 10 years old.
All right. So how's he progressed since the first run?
Oh my goodness! The first run, it's so funny because some of these runs they kind of tie. It's been 4 years, so some of them kind of run in a little bit. The first time we did this, he wasn't even potty trained. And then the second or third run, we actually had to stop the run because he had to use the bathroom. He just potty trained like two weeks beforehand. So he's progressed not only as far as verbally. He is becoming more independent on different things. We trying to teach him how to use even the littlest things, like how to cook popcorn in a microwave. He's learning how to do that kind of thing. And it's just, he's progressed so much from originally going to the classroom to now, and all we see is just him keep on going and doing what he can.
What about his awareness of the event itself? Does he understand what's going on?
Not really. He understands, like, he knows his birthday's coming up, so that's all I've heard about for last week. But he understands.
So he thinks everybody's coming together to celebrate his birthday.
Yeah,
and that's what they are doing.
Yeah, it's pretty neat. And he's on that, and sometimes, just like any kid, you bring up the word, some of the teachers' names. He's like, no, you're not going to school right now, buddy. You're good to go. And so he's, he understands, what's going on as far as everybody coming together. One year when we were doing the run, he thinks he was going to the amusement park because it was such a long run that he was like, oh, we're going to the amusement park. I'm sorry, buddy, we're not going that way. But it is what it is. And he's, he grasps, he gets to see people and have a good time. So it's pretty neat.
Sheriff, I know you see people all the time that are just completely overwhelmed because of family situations, like a child that has some kind of a difficulty. And a lot of these families are barely able to keep their head above water and take care of their own situation. So I know you really appreciate it when you see somebody that's able to say, you know what, I recognize what's been done for my child and my family, and we want to do something to help the families that are coming behind us.
Absolutely, Chris. We all know, first off, you get a great education in this country. Yes. Like you said, there might be some disagreement, but in general, that's how we are where we are, our education. And you got children with more to deal with. You got parents who don't have any experience in this world, so you have to learn, but having the school to support you and having that as a resource makes a huge amount of difference, as you've talked about.
And patience. I've said it every year. It's patience, especially with my son and, with other, they come across, different things that they do. You got to have patience. The funny story I had last year was that just happened after this one, but he figured out how to work voodoo. He watched my wife do it one time, got her email address, password, knew all this stuff one time. He bought 3 or 4 movies. I had to stop that out and had to block that out. I mean, all you can do is sit back and laugh. You're like, how did you do that, dude? You one time. So we had to block it out. But I mean, like I said, I didn't get mad. I just kind of shook my head and was like, all right, here we go.
Proud and frustrated at the same time.
Exactly. It's like, that's pretty good, dude. How did you pull that off? And he's an artist. He draws all the time. I've got pictures on my phone, and his concept of art is amazing. He loves a movie called Monster House, and he draws that. He made one out of Legos, just out of left field. That's awesome. I'll come walking in the room like, what are you doing with that? So,
well, not this Saturday, but Saturday, July 19th, just a couple of weeks away, Trystan's Run for Autism. If you want to be a part of that, just meet up at the top of the river in Anniston and go have some fun. We'll be back in just a few moments. We will have the Crime Stoppers segment of the show and our Crazy Criminal of the Week on Calhoun County's Most Wanted.
Congratulations to Calhoun County's Crime Stoppers and the Most Wanted program that airs on the TV all the time, and for being on the air for 10 years, and also for arresting over 3,000 people. Great job, guys.
Big news for homebuyers searching through all those complicated mortgage options. AOD Federal Credit Union is now offering new, out-of-the-box mortgage solutions. Mortgage loan manager Jamie Bailey will help find the best rates and quickest approval for you. Conventional, FHA, VA, USDA, Jumbo, HARP, and more. Call Jamie Bailey at 256-241-8218. Out-of-the-box mortgage services. Reason number 4 that you belong with AOD Federal Credit Union. Federally insured by NCUA. All loans subject to credit approval. Certain restrictions apply. Equal housing lender.
For emergency and non-emergency medical transportation, you can count on Anniston EMS.
Hello, I'm Johnny Warren with Anniston EMS, and we appreciate the opportunity to provide support for the Calhoun County's Most Wanted program. And I would like to remind everyone out there that if they need any medical transportation needs, please don't hesitate to call us.
Call Anniston EMS at 256-237-8572.
And welcome to the Crime Stoppers portion of our show, where we ask you to put on your deer stalkers and help our investigators. First up on your caseload this week, between June 16th and June 23rd, assorted scrap metal and car parts were stolen from this residence on Danview Road in Jacksonville. And sometime between 6/29 and 6/23, assorted fishing tackle and tools were stolen from this residence on Dover Road in Ohatchee. And on June 25th, the 1979 marine green in color boat hull, Mercury boat motor, and a yellow boat trailer was stolen from this residence on Rose Avenue in Oxford. And on June 25th, the pool and chainsaw and power tools were stolen from this residence on New Liberty Road in Jacksonville. And on June 18th, the hedge trimmer and weed eater were stolen from this residence on Oak Grove Road in Glencoe. And last up on your caseload this week, between June 25th and June 26th, a residence on Mountain View Road in Wellington was broken into. They got away with some currency, and that is your caseload for this week. If you have any information on these cases, and we hope you do, please give Crime Stoppers a call at 256-238-1414. Remember, we want your information and not your name.
Stupid! You're so stupid!
The Crazy Criminal of the Week is sponsored by Systems by Design, Simply Smart Security. Find out how they can protect your home or business at systemsbydesign.org.
All right, the first part of our Crazy Criminal is just going to make you mad, Sheriff. We had an individual who went into the store, took his dog with him when he went to the store, left the dog in the vehicle, windows rolled up, 123 degrees in the vehicle. And that's how the police got involved initially. They show up, somebody spotted the dog in the car, called, and the police came out to rescue the dog. Well, as they're getting ready to break the window or whatever, the owner comes out. That's when they notice that his breath smells of alcohol.
Uh-oh.
So they asked if he had been driving inebriated, and although they already knew that he had. He said, "No, the dog drove me here."
I've heard a lot of excuses. That one's up there.
Yeah, I've heard of people blaming the dog around the dinner table or whatever, but not for driving drunk.
I assume they didn't arrest the dog.
Well, the dog was taken into custody and now is being provided a new home, I believe.
Well, and thank goodness he didn't get back out on the road. So in the end, the dog got his revenge.
Absolutely. Just really quick, on a serious note, don't leave pets or kids in the car, even for a little time while it's this hot. It's just not safe. That's all that we have for this week. We'll be looking for you again next week, but hopefully not in the lineup on Calhoun County's Most Wanted.
Attention Alabama, a stop payment notice has been issued on all vehicles in your area. Don't make another payment on your current car. Bring your vehicle directly to the Kia stores. Because right now, you get $5,000 minimum for any trade towards the purchase of any select new Kia in stock. Drive home a new 2014 Kia Soul or a 2014 Kia Rio for just $111 per month. Or drive home two for $222. Plus, if you have a job bringing home $350 per week, we want to approve your credit. Only at the Kia stores.
Nobody beats a Kia store deal. Nobody.